Derek Dahl. I am a singer-songwriter, performing artist. I'm also a community advocate and an entrepreneur. I have been writing music since I was 10 years old. Professionally, I have been pursuing music for the last, I think, 12 to 13 years. Mirror was a love letter to myself. During the pandemic, we had so much time in the house, and I took to affirmations. You know, just encouraging yourself and affirming your being. And I remember putting into practice, looking in the mirror every day and just telling myself that I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm creative, I'm original, you're independent, you're reliable, just speaking values into myself, affirming the things that, you know, sometimes I would struggle to believe. And I ran across this beat by Songleader, and it made me feel and see that. So I put my affirmations in a song. And so that's where Mirror came from. Dancing in the mirror. What does that look like? What does that mean? You know, unapologetically being yourself and being free to discover new things, free to affirm things, free to play. That's where the concept for Mirror as a song came from. Just me wanting to be in a space where I could comfortably look at myself every day and know that I am him, you know? And I hope that other people take that from the song too. I'm Southern, I'm from Louisiana, and as soon as the song starts, you kind of hear like the organ, right? And that instantly takes me back to church. I was like, where is this going? You know, it's not a church song, but it is an inspirational song. It's something I could go back to my church and sing this very song and it have the same impact as a gospel record because of what the message is. So it connected to my roots in that way, just sonically. I was part of the choir, I was on praise teams, and so having a history as a worship leader, that was the first thing that caught my ear was, ooh, I like those keys. And then the flute came in on top of it, and I'm a former orchestra kid. I used to play the cello, and one of the first things we learn how to play when you're in school is like the recorder to learn notes. And so I was like, this is very like elemental. So it kind of just, it pulled me, and I started bopping to the song. I was like, oh, I can move to this, giving me a little line dance feels, a little stepping kind of feel. I was like, oh, there's so much going on here, and it makes me feel good. So pairing it with affirmations that make you feel good made the most sense to me, and it just worked. For me, music has always been an experience based off what I'm experiencing. For Mirror, during that time, we were in isolation. You know, we were on lockdown, and so I had a lot of time to be with myself and a lot of time to be with God, right? So in that moment, it's a lot of praying, it's a lot of searching, it's a lot of rediscovery, it's a lot of affirming, it's a lot of, you know, shooing away of personal doubt and stuff like that. So that's where it connected. But for the most part, I make music that makes me feel good. I pull inspiration from childhood, whether it's from college experiences, whether it's from my friends' stories, whether it's from me just being at work and hearing something crazy. It was like, I can write a song about that. You know, so I pull inspiration from everywhere, and I make it personal to me, but I also try not to make it too personal that the listener can't connect to it, because I don't want to just be like, this is just me, you know, trauma dumping or party dumping on you. It's literally like, I want to share something with you, and I hope that you can relate to this experience, because a lot of us go through the same stuff just at different times. So that's my approach to the music. I want to make something that clicks to people who's like, oh yeah, I know what that feels like. And I feel like Mirror is one of those songs that we've all been at that place where we needed to edify ourselves. And if you haven't been in that place yet, I feel like this song is going to push you closer to that moment. And when you get there, it's going to be beautiful. My favorite lyric or line in this song has to be, protect your mental, eliminate doubt, elevate your temple and make yourself proud. Heavy is the head of the one that wears the crown. If they nail me to the cross, just know I'm getting down. And I think that those bars kind of like reinforce and empower a level of resilience that once you tap into it, you can do and overcome anything, you know, especially the part about heavy is the head of the one that wears the crown. If they nail me to the cross, just know I'm getting down. And even that pulls back to my spirituality and back to church about, you know, there was a time where the presumed savior of the world, who had a crown on his head, was being persecuted for the craziest things, just inspiring people. And they hung him up there, but it didn't matter, because you know he's getting down. And I want other people to feel that, like, life isn't over just because, you know, everything seems like it's falling apart. Adjust your crown. It's gonna be heavy, right? But get up, you can get up, you know. Protect your mental, eliminate doubt, elevate your temple, protect your body, love on yourself, you know, self-care is the best care. Make yourself proud. Like, that part of the song, that is the meat for me out of the whole song. In alignment with the backstory to Mirror, the Mirror video also ties into my own origin story as an artist. I met Prince Derek Doll in a dream in the mirror. It was a dream where I was using the bathroom. I turned around to wash my hand at the sink, and I looked into the mirror and I saw this like blonde, beautiful man, perfect skin, beautiful teeth. Like, he looked like me, but it wasn't me at the time. Had these, like this crazy outfit, the big super bow, and the conversation was, I want to show you something. And reached his hand through the mirror. I touched the hand, and then it's like felt like it was like a Disney movie, but then I was on the other side of the mirror, so I was looking back at my normal self. And I woke up confused, like, what was that about? And literally over time, like, it was like, I want to discover that, because I feel like that was a representation of me that it wasn't real to me, but I liked it. And he seemed powerful, confident, all the things that at that time I didn't believe that I was. And so over time, it developed into the manifestation of Prince Derek Doll. And I look back now at some of my looks, and I'm like, oh yeah, that part came from here. And this is where the big bow came in. And this is where the blonde hair with the swoop and being the doll. And so in the Mirror video, coupled with the song, it was about me becoming who I knew I could be. And it's about affirming all those things that I never thought I was going to be, or that I was meant to be. But it was shown to me, and I followed that vision. So in the video, you see me looking up from writing those affirmations and actually seeing Prince Derek Doll in the mirror. And the video goes into this wonderland of fashion and art and music, and you get to see some of the influences, like it's very like 90s hip hop video from the angles and the color scheme and the range of looks blending the androgynous side in. Like, it was all the things. And to me, that is what life looked like on the other side of the mirror. But now here I am. This is my side of the mirror, and it's real. It's real to me. So it's a music video to y'all, but looking at the things I wear and how I move, and that's my real life now. And I love it. As a local independent artist, I've always had to try to figure out ways to fund myself, whether it was taking on extra gigs or, booking shows, applying for grants, taking out loans. And I'm so grateful for Newark Creative Catalyst Fund, because over the last maybe 3 years, it's afforded me the opportunity to advance in my art, from booking studio sessions to record music, to being able to fund, this music video, to work with other Newark artists. Like, this was such a local creative wet dream, to say the least. Everything as far as like my looks, outside of the things that I had already, were supplied by Lynette LaShawn. Dan is an amazing videographer here in Newark. My editor's here in Newark. And I found out that the producers for the song had literally just moved to Newark. The studio I recorded the song in was 211, shout out to Do It All. Like, everything was done here, and it was done, and it was funded by Newark. And so I'm grateful, I'm enamored, and I'm just like, oh wow, to be in a space where you have everything. Newark has everything we need to be successful. It's just about putting those pieces together, empowering each other to show up creatively, giving each other enough space to play and to shine, and creating something beautiful. And I'm so proud of this video, and I hope that I get a chance to do many more. So shout out to Newark Creative Catalyst Fund. I'll be hitting you up again soon. My mission as an artist is to encourage people to believe in the make-believe, right? Where I come from, I had to have a vivid imagination of the world because I didn't really get a chance to see it as much. I knew the environment I was in. My grandmother and my mom made sure that I was able to have different experiences that would kind of broaden my horizons and what I thought I could do in this world. And I feel that as an artist, I'm literally using those experiences, channeling them through my gift, making it real, and then watching the world around me open up. So I think my mission is literally to just kind of be an example for those that may not feel they have an example. This can be real, like dreams can be real. You just have to believe in yourself, believe in what the universe or what God is telling you, and trust that, you know, when you make the decision to follow what's been given to you, the world will bend to that vision. For me, I think that fashion is also a space for expression. I'm all about freedom of expression. The same way that I'm influenced musically by some very iconic people, I'm also influenced as far as how I look and how I present by some amazing icons. I pull from Prince, and I think about Little Richard and El DeBarge and Rick James. Like, these men were different to me when I was growing up and seeing them on TV. They didn't look like any of the men I saw in my life in Louisiana. But I was like, oh, I want to do that, you know? Even though I'm like, I may not be able to do it, but if I could do that, I want to do that. So evolving into my own style versus fashion is me being free enough to express that. So looking at the video, you're going to be seeing some of the looks I've already worn. They're part of my own iconography, and some of them, you know, are signs of the future for me. So first look in the video is actually me with the roses. Now, for those who are here at the beginning of my story, you know that I am enamored with roses. It is my favorite flower because they're so beautiful to look at, but they do have thorns. And I feel like I'm kind of like that sometimes. You have to be gentle with me, but when you have a rose, you have a rose, you know. During a very dark period where I was about to give up on music and performing, this is like maybe 2018, I found myself in the dark. And it wasn't until I did this visual art called Rebirth in Progress. It was an interpretive visual, and the rose was my theme because I feel like roses can grow in the harshest conditions. And I found myself blossoming in a space that could have killed me. And so for this to be my first music video, I wanted to honor that part of my story. Like, there was a time when I thought this was over. I thought it was over. And now I'm doing my first music video to a song that I wish I had during that time. So it was important to me to to have a rose scene or to have something honor that part of me, because I'm so grateful to have grown from that. Also, one of my favorite movies is Fifth Element, and there's a scene with Chris Tucker, who people used to say I looked like him when I was younger all the time. My manager thought it would be funny to have me do the whole like rose wreath thing from that scene. So that's where you get that from, and we get the loop for the hair. The second look was the gold look. Gold is also one of my favorite colors. I also went through a gold era. If you were here for Love Me, I'm an alpha. I believe that gold is refined by fire, and we're the same way. And I've gone through so much fire already to kind of like be as polished as I hope to be. The holy gold out bodysuit. That's actually a look that I had from my second year at the VMAs in 2022. I wore that inside for the show. I looked good in it, so I was like, why not bring it out for a music video? I probably will never have an opportunity to wear this again anyway, so it just kind of fit with the style of the video itself. I wanted to play with it, so I did. People may not notice this, but the sequence of the fashions, actually, they all have significance to my journey as an artist. Year of the Rose was like maybe 5-7 years ago. And then I moved into my gold phase when I went blonde, and you know, I was wearing gold accessories all the time. I had the little hoop earring, and so that was a moment. The space I'm in now is actually, I'm in my Purple Rain era, right? Purple in this particular time, it's significant to me because of who my idols are. I am big fans of Whitney Houston and Prince. Those are my mother and father, musically and creatively. It's their favorite color, but also it's my mom's favorite color, who's an Aquarius. And I'm in a space where I can look back and see the sacrifices that my mom made for me to be able to pursue what it is that I love pursuing, and her support has never wavered. And I wanted to honor her and them at the VMAs last year. And so I was like, I'm gonna go with this purple look. I had played with my hair to see what it would look like, and it kind of stuck. And I feel like it's such a strong, powerful color, especially for a royal. And it also lends itself to like grace. And I know that with me now literally pursuing this, not just as an art form, but as a business, it's gonna require so much of that. I know what presence I take up in a room, and this Marco Hall piece, just, it's stunning, right? And as I grow in fashion, I'm not a fashion boy per se, but I like things that look good on the body. And when I went to him, I told him that I wanted to have something that reminded me of the Jean-Paul Gaultier design that they made for Prince for Fifth Element that he never wore because he didn't take the role. And I've had that picture saved on my phone for years. So I took it to him and we discussed it, and he was like, okay, well, I want you to study Bob Mackie. And I love Marco Hall, that's my fashion father. He always gives me homework, and I'm always grateful because he's never steered me wrong. And I went and started looking at some Bob Mackie work on Cher and Diana Ross. And I was like, ooh, I want to have a moment with the arms. And everybody knows I love bodysuits, but let's make something that's from the neck down, and it's flowing, it's giving, it's elevated, and pulls that in. Not knowing every year, regardless of whatever I decide to wear, my look always goes with the theme of the VMAs, and it's so crazy. I did not expect there to be like a purple or pink theme. I don't know why I didn't think about that since Nicki Minaj was hosting. But we got there, and it was bedazzled, and it had like the feathers on it. It was just gorgeous, and I felt secure and regal and royal, just the way that it made me feel. And I was like, I have to wear this in this video because this is my coming of age story as an artist. And this is one of those moments where I feel the most powerful, you know, the most present I've ever been. I'm having the most fun I've ever had. So the purple scene had to be in there. in honor of the greats that went before me, especially with the style of outfit that it was. The black and white. Black and white checkerboard is pop iconography. If you don't know that, then you've been asleep for the past 60 years. When Lynette LaShawn released her cake line, Queen of Making a Scene, make sure you follow her. There were two that caught my eye, the camouflage and the checkerboard. And when she agreed to style me for this shoot, I didn't know if she was gonna bring it. But she brought it, and I asked her, I was like, oh my God, I'm afraid to put this on, like, it's really here. And she was like, no, she said, because when you look up icons in fashion and music, this is what they look like, and you're gonna be one of them. And in that moment, I was like, this is for the scene that represents the future of Prince Derek Doll, right? And so when you get to that last scene of the music video and you see me in that black and white cape and in the hat, it's a signal to the future of how I'm gonna be moving on this board, you know, this chessboard of life and in this business, understanding that I've overcome so much. I've been at the darkest, and I grew like the rose out of the concrete. I was refined by fire during my gold phase, my golden era. I've arrived into this space of regality and owning my space as royalty during my purple reign. And what's next for me is for me to be able to freely move across this plane, knocking obstacles down to get to my ultimate goal. And I feel like the fashion story of this video kind of captured that. And so shout out to all the designers. I don't think I could have asked for better fashion for my first video. It's iconic. Thank you all so much for joining me for this exclusive behind the scenes interview about Mirror. I've talked enough. The moment we've all been waiting for. The world premiere of my debut music video, Mirror. Please, please, please enjoy.